Hey, I'm Charles with Rocky Mountain. Today I'm going to show you guys how to install a Tusk Stage 2 Upgrade Kit on your Polaris General 1000. Now the Stage 2 kit, this is the mid-grade kit out of the 3 options, but it's going to come with some high quality accessories to not only make your new machine stand out and look good, but to help fit your riding needs. So what this kit comes with is the removable full windshield, your pivot folding mirrors with A-pillar mounts, the profile aluminum roof, and a Polycarb rear window. So that's everything that comes in the kit. Let's get this stuff installed. To start things out, we're going to install the roof. Now, to get this done, we've got 2 bolts on the top of our visor. We're going to remove both of those bolts, and we're using a T40 Torx bit to do that. And there's also some barrel nuts underneath. We're going to pull those out as well. And with those barrel nuts removed, we're going to install the M6 barrel nuts that came in our kit. Next, we're going to prep our roof. So I've got this on a blanket so we don't scratch it up. And then we've got this foam tape. We're going to go around 3 of the outer edges with the foam tape. So this is the underside of the roof. We're going to start on the sides right next to this bend all the way to the back. Then we'll remove the backing and press it down into place. Then we'll do the same thing across the back and the other side. Now that we have that tape installed, we're going to set the roof on top of the machine. And with this hardware, make sure you get the washer installed first. That goes on the outside of the roof. And then we have the spacer underneath in between the stock visor and the roof. Next, I'm going to install the 4 roll cage brackets. We're going to use the remaining M6 bolts and the washers. And again, the washer is going to go on the outside of the roof. Next, we'll take the 2 M8 bolts and the washers. We're going to stick those through the front of the roof, through that stock visor, and then we're going to put the nylock nuts on the back side. Now I'm going to adjust the roof for optimal fit, both side to side and front to back, and then go through and tighten down all of the hardware. Next, we're going to install the A-pillar mirror mounts and the mirrors. So we're going to start by removing both bolts in the lower A-pillar on the driver's side. And we're not going to be reusing this bolt, but we will reuse this nylock nut. So this is the driver's side bracket. These can really only go on one way, and we're going to use the hardware that came with these mirror mounts, and that's going to be these longer bolts with the washer. And if you're having trouble lining these up, you can use an alignment punch to pull these roll cage pieces together. Then we'll use our 17mm socket to tighten these bolts down. Then we'll go do the same thing on the passenger side. To install the mirrors, we're going to remove this bolt and that star washer. We'll install the bolt through the mirror mount, then the star washer and the mirror. Once you have the mirror adjusted where you want it, you can go ahead and use a 13mm wrench to tighten the bolt down. Then we'll do the same steps for the driver's side. Now keep in mind, you want the logo so you can read it. Next, I'm going to install the rear window. I'm going to remove the protective cover from both sides. So we've got the thicker foam tape and the thinner foam tape. We're going to use the thicker foam tape to go around the outside edge of the rear window. And the way I have this is the Tusk logo is still going to be facing outside of the machine. Now for the filler panel, we have this edge facing up, and we're going to go along the 2 sides and the top with this thinner foam tape. Then I'm going to flip the filler panel over. We're going to put 1 strip of foam tape right behind these holes right here. Now we can set the filler panel onto the machine. So to do that, this foam tape on this edge right here, this is going to go against the bottom edge of the cab. So I'll roll that into place, and then we have the bracket with the 2 bolt holes, and we're going to run 2 bolts through the filler panel into those holes. And to get these bolts in, you can move the filler panel side to side, wherever it needs to be. These are going to tap right into that pre-drilled hole in the frame. Now for the bottom, what we need to do is put a rag between the bed and the filler panel. That's going to push it forward enough that when you use your cargo bed, it's not going to interfere with the filler panel. Once you've done that, we can move to the cab and remove the seats. Now that we have the seats out, you just want to double check the fitment of the filler panel, make sure everything looks like it's lined up correctly. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and tighten down this top hardware, and then we'll take our 21/64 inch drill bit and we're going to drill through that center hole in the front. Once you have that drilled out, blow it off and install your push pin. Once you have that center one done, you can go ahead and one at a time, we're going to drill out the remaining 3 holes and put the push pins in. Now before we set the rear window in place, we're going to use these self tappers to create some threads in the 2 upper holes in that roll cage. That's just going to make the next step easier. Now I'm going to have a friend help me set the rear window in place, and we're going to start by installing self tappers in the upper 2 corners. Then we can install the brackets. We got 2 different styles that came in the kit. So this style right here, this is going to go across the bottom. There should be 3 of them. And then we've got the different style that's going to go in the middle on the top. And all this hardware is going to be left loose so we can make some adjustments. Now with everything loosely installed, we're going to go ahead and adjust the rear window for optimal fitment. And then we're going to tighten down all the hardware. So when we do that, just keep in mind you don't want to over tighten these screws, because if you do, they're going to crack the rear window. Moving on to the windshield, we're going to remove the backing from the inside. The outside is going to have the Tusk sticker on it. So across the top, we're going to install the D-shaped trim. Now to install the bulb seal, I'm going to peel back some of that protective film on the other side just a little bit. And then the bulb is actually going to face inside the cab, and if this needs to fit tighter at any point, you can always pinch it together and press it back on. And the 2 foam strips on the side. Now inside the cab, we're going to install 2 barrel nuts into the stock visor. The nut side will be facing up. And then we'll use the 2 M6 bolts to install the windshield brackets. After that, I'm going to set the windshield in place, and we're going to install the Velcro clamps. Now with these clamps, the strap's going to go around the roll cage. We'll go through that slot. We'll go around the bar in the clamp. We'll feed the strap back through, press the clamp down into place, and then you can go ahead and cinch up the clamp. Then we'll do those same steps for the remaining 3 clamps. Now we can remove this protective film. After that, we can install the 2 knobs into the brackets we just installed. Once you have both knobs in place, what you can do is leave those just a little bit loose. We'll do some final adjustments to get the best fitment for our windshield, and then we'll tighten the knobs all the way down and then do the final tightening for the hardware on our brackets. And that's your install process for the Stage 2 Upgrade Kit for the Polaris General 1000s. If you need this kit or any other accessories for your side-by-side, make sure you pick those up on our website. And if you have any questions about the install process, leave those questions down in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to our channel for more helpful content. I'm Charles with Rocky Mountain. Thanks for watching.